Hi everyone, today I'm talking about my 3 stocks for November 2019 that I'm probably most likely going to buy. I'm going to talk about these stocks, I'm going to talk about why I potentially could go buy these stocks. And as always guys, this is a long-term kind of investment channel, so I'm kind of looking at holding these stocks for a year to about 5-year range, somewhere in there. But like I said, I'm going to break down these stocks and spend about 2 or 3 minutes explaining why I want to go and buy some shares in these in the next month. And I'll talk about how likely I am to buy each one. If you want any more information about these stocks, guys, I'll probably have a full video on my channel about these stocks. In fact, all 3 of these stocks, I have done a full detailed video about them on my channel. So go check that out if you need any more information about it. But if you give the video a like and subscribe before we get started, guys, that would be absolutely amazing. Now, number 1 is IRobot, which is a company that just reported earnings last week. And I made a full video about IRobot and talking about their earnings report and what I think of it in detail. But since I'm talking about the 3 likely stocks I'm going to go buy this month, IRobot does come on that list because it's now at a very attractive discount price. When we look at the stock chart, we can see that the stock is absolutely down huge. And actually over after its earnings report, the few days after, it did start pulling back slightly. And for me, I'm kind of looking at IRobot now, and it does say to me a good opportunity to go buy this stock because it is on that massive discount. And the thing is that I've got to just be really careful of about IRobot is there's potential for this stock to go down from these sort of prices. So I'm just going to be wary about that and not go too heavy in on the position. But looking at IRobot, it's a fantastic company with a great balance sheet. And going forward, it's going to be because people are going to rely on a lot of artificial intelligence, especially managing like household chores. IRobot in a very good position to kind of have that going forward, and I believe that IRobot potentially has somewhere between a 30 to 50% upside really on these prices. Now, one of the big things that makes me really attractive is the big massive discount, and I do like buying stocks on massive discounts. Previously, I found IRobot quite attractive, but since the latest discount, it seems really attractive to me right now at these prices. Like I said, the big reason why is the China trade war. That has potential to, bring the stock down from these prices still. At the same time, IRobot are doing a good job of trying to manage that. And if the China trade war was to stop and everything got solved, obviously this would probably most likely be the low of this stock. So that's something to be really careful about as well. Now, 2 really other good points about Robot before I move on to the next stock as well, which makes it really attractive for me. Even with all these problems that IRobot have going on right now, the earnings were actually fantastic, which is really good. And when I like to go and see if I believe a stock is undervalued, I look at IRobot and I look at the PE, and the PE is really low for IRobot now. Normally this stock was trading in a PE of the 20s and the 30s. Now it's all the way down to around about the 14 PE. Maybe it's a little bit higher now because of the last few days that it's kind of gone up. But even so, at these kind of prices, the P is really low, and it's not normally this low. So that's signaling to me right now that this is a massive buy at these sort of prices. So IRobot is one that I potentially could be buying either potentially next week, depending on what happens with a couple of other stocks, because there's a couple of other stocks I kind of want to wait for their earnings as well. And potentially if some negative China trade war news comes out, it's going to hurt IRobot massively and bring that stock down. Since it's so dependent on the China, and that's where it gets a lot of its products manufactured. That's number 1, guys. We're going to go to number 2. So number 2 is Facebook, which is a stock that I currently own. I have a position in Facebook, and I've always said Facebook potentially for me is a stock that Microsoft is my number 1 position, Visa is my number 2 position. Microsoft Facebook could quite easily be my 3rd biggest position. At the same time, I wouldn't have a problem with Facebook being my number 1 position because I really like this company, and I think they're fantastic, to be fair. But at the moment, it's trading still off its 52 close, down around about the $190 mark, which is not too bad because when I look at Facebook, I see this stock being $250 stock pretty much anytime soon. It's fair to say this stock should be in the $230 mark ish at least right now, with how much potential and how amazing this company is. It deserves to be $230 stock. But Facebook is actually reporting earnings this week, so I kind of want to wait and see what earnings happens. Hopefully it's earnings that will bring the stock down so I can get the stock for cheaper. If the earnings is good, then I potentially won't then go and buy Facebook. So I'm kind of like waiting to see what happens with Facebook, but I'm slightly rooting for it to go down. But Facebook, a fantastic company. Management have recently done such a fantastic job with it. The EPS and the growth side of it, on the revenue side, it is fantastic. Growing the company now on multiple platforms and multiple income streams, which is really good. And like I say, the revenue and the EPS is still growing fantastic. When we look at a lot of growth companies that are growing around the 20% rate, their P's are normally like in the 30 mark, 40, 50, 60. And Facebook is in a kind of 28p kind of range, but the forward P, because of the fantastic EPS growth, means that this stock is actually at 19 forward P, which sounds really cheap. So that's really good from Facebook, and it's still on a big massive discount. And when I look at this stock, you will get 4 great platforms with Facebook. And the great thing about Facebook is if we just take the number one reason why they're a great company, and that's the advertising side of it. The advertising side growth of Facebook will carry on growing how it is right now, and still the adverts are quite cheap on Facebook, and eventually I think these prices for advertising will keep rising, and then they'll go and make more money from here, because I think Facebook is probably the best advertising platform. It's better than all the traditional kind of advertising platforms, because you can actually target your audience and retain customers from adverts. And Facebook, for me, still has plenty of years of growing because of the advertising side of it. And eventually, I think we'll see a lot more bigger companies then going on to Facebook, as they kind of have been doing all this last year. So Facebook for me at the moment is a big massive buy, but like I say, I'm kind of waiting to see what happens on earnings. Number 3 is Altria, and Altria once again are reporting earnings this week. And once again, it's another one of my companies that I have shares in, and it's a company that I'm trying to build up into a big position. I am aiming Altria to try and get to my 4th or my 5th biggest position in my portfolio. Right now, it's not at that point, so I am looking to buy more shares in this, and I have been averaging into the stock. But recently, when we look at the stock chart, we can see the big massive discount it's on, but we can also see it's just spiked a little bit, and it's gone from around about the $40 mark to $46 mark. So it has gone up about 10% right now, and I kind of want to get the stock a little bit cheaper than this. But at the same time, I have a big feeling that there's potential for this stock to go down still from here. So we'll see what happens there. So I'm not really going to buy at these prices, but if it does go cheaper, I will buy more Altria stock. Like I say, it's got earnings this week, and the thing that makes it really attractive to Altria is that it's down at a 12p. I am playing this as more as a dividend play. It has a 7% dividend yield, even though the stock is on a massive discount, and I believe that the share price of Altria can go up as well. I feel like I can get that dividend and also that stock price increase on this stock. And the big thing that makes it more attractive to Altria right now compared to a lot of other stocks, even though you'll see the revenue doesn't grow huge in this company, is that it's making the right investments for it to still be a stable dividend paying stock. And the management over the last year has tried to make 3 big investments into other companies, and that should pay off for it. Now, obviously, one of those investments is Juul, and there's a big talk about vaping at the moment and deaths by vaping, which is Juul, and obviously Altria have an investment in Juul, and that's being reported really heavy in the media at the moment. Now, I've always said this on this channel, I don't understand why the media are pushing this so much, because we talk about I think something is like 38 deaths because of vaping, but when we compare it to the alternative, which is smoking, there's going to be 100,000 deaths a year from smoking. But for some reason, there's an agenda in the news right now because there's 38 deaths, and it's like, which one is the bigger problem right now? And even so, just from that, there's other bigger stories that are causing more problems in the world than 38 deaths from vaping. Obviously, it's not a healthy thing to vape, but it's a lot better than other things that are out there. And the media just have an agenda against vaping right now, just like how they have an agenda against Tesla. And I feel like this will eventually blow over at some point soon. But there is potential for however longer the media want to keep this agenda of vaping up against Altria. That is what potentially is holding the stock back right now, these prices. And if that does go and hurt the EPS and revenue, then obviously that probably will bring the stock down a little bit. But like I say, it is reporting earnings this week, so I'll have a better idea what I'm going to do with Altria after the earnings, really, to be honest with you. So guys, those are the 3 stocks I'm looking to buy in November. If I do buy any shares in them, guys, I will let you know. Like I say, IRobot is one that I'll probably have a better idea if I'm buying it after the end of this week. Facebook, I'm kind of like waiting after earnings, and Altria, I'm after waiting for earnings. But depending on what happens with these 3 stocks over the next week, there's potential that could buy shares in these 3 stocks right now, because the stock market in general, I don't want to buy too many shares now, because stocks have risen quite a bit. So, I do like buying stocks on discount. So these 3 are the ones that I'm finding more attractive. And like I say, after this week, I'll have a good idea which ones I'll buy. And you'll know if I bought them, because I'll make a video about them as always, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the 3 stocks I'm buying in November 2019, guys. If you could give the video a like, that would be amazing. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video.